I tried to have fun with the title there. According to Wikipedia, dark academia is a social media aesthetic and subculture centered around higher education, writing/poetry, the arts, and classic Greek and Gothic architecture. The subculture is associated with ancient art and classic literature. I actually came across this wonderful article that I will be linking in the description below if you want to follow along. It's by Lisa Zirngast. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your last name, and she titled it, "Everything You Need to Know About the Dark Academia Aesthetic Trend." She opens on classics of literary history, a passion for education, and a soft spot for sublime architecture combined in a preppy style. Dark academia is the social media trend you can't miss. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what your teacher was talking about when she told you to write an attention-grabbing hook. Reels you in. But before we get too deep into the origins and the backgrounds and the aesthetic of dark academia, we need to go over some of the problems, which we're going to jump over to another article, which was wonderful, amazing. I'm also linking this below. It's by Isabella Dudley-Flores, and I think she titled it, let's see, I wrote it here in my notes, "The Dark Side of Dark Academia, a Critique of the Aesthetic." She makes some really great points. 1, there's a grave lack of diversity and representation and inclusivity. And I'm going to be jumping back and forth between articles right now because this is going to help the point. In the title, Dark Academia, the term academia is described as a group of aesthetics that are connected to learning primarily through reading and intensive research. So taking that description from Lisa
Zirngast's
article, and then going back over to Isabella Dudley-Flores' article, she mentions it's Eurocentric. An aesthetic that claims to praise
intellectuality
shouldn't be exclusive. I mean, I'm glad that there's awareness that there is such hypocrisy in this group claiming to be a student of the world, yet it predominantly praises the white authors, characters, stories. It's like ironic. 2, promoting unhealthy behaviors. Isabella mentions that there is a push of unhealthy habits, like neglecting basic human needs, like sleep, glorifying a caffeine addiction to complement the lack of sleep. And during that lack of sleep, the aesthetic places a higher importance on academics, concentration, focus, and constantly studying in a frantic manner. There's sirens going on. And just abandoning all other aspects of your life. So academics and learning and growing your mind is wonderful, and that should be sought after, but it shouldn't be put in the way of health. It shouldn't be put in the way of eating food, of sleeping, of getting the things that your body needs. You know, all of that other stuff is like the icing on the cake. You still need to take care of yourself. The last argument that she brings up is that it's so expensive to maintain this aesthetic. And I can tell you that from my own experience, since I've started doing research on this aesthetic, I've been getting a lot of ads of clothing and pieces that are dark academia inspired, and they're very expensive and I can't afford it. I gotta say, I agree. It is my duty to direct you back to the article that Isabella wrote. Like, you have to pull it up right now because the way she words it is so funny. She says, "You can't be poor," which is so true. Towards the end of the article, she acts as our guardian angel and provides solutions for these problems. I'm going to read word for word what she wrote here. "For dark academia to be less toxic, I think people who consider themselves a part of the aesthetic should give a voice to people of color in the community, authors, and stories, movies, and the books." And I'm going to read you the next line that she wrote because it's so good. "I also think since academics love research so much, they should research dark academia books and movies that have diverse casts of characters." Okay, but you still have to go read her article. Okay, so now that we know the trouble up ahead, we can focus on what dark academia even is. So jumping back over to Lisa Zirngast's article, we are going to start with origins and background. Lisa Zirngast makes a correlation between the aesthetic and the leading social media platforms of the time. So back in 2015, it appears that the dark academia aesthetic had a more book club feel on Tumblr, and it kicked off with a book called The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and it was actually about a group of students and their teacher who isolate themselves from their community in order to engage in more intellectual discussions, which, jumping back over to 2021, now we're on TikTok, and it seems that the aesthetic has become more of a lifestyle concept, which are the words that Lisa Zirngast uses. Next, we got the inspirations for dark academia. So, of course, it's no shock that the greatest influences are European cultures, right? The prevalent time periods are the Renaissance period, Baroque, and the Romantic period. I don't know if these time periods were chosen for this specific reason or not, but something that I noticed that is similar between all three is that they were all times of revolution and rebirth, right? I think that's what the Renaissance was known for, right? It was like a rebirth of mankind. And then there was the Baroque period, which was now focusing on ornaments and embellishments. And I know in terms of classical music, it's like every second is filled with a note that goes beyond the melody. There's trills and little loops. And then you have the Romantic era, which happens right after the very strict, very structural, metronomic classical era. The Romantic era is like a rebellion. It's like heartbreaking. It's scrapping all the rules. It's emotional. It's slow. So maybe all of these have something to do with the dark academia trend. Maybe it's supposed to be this new revolution. Is it supposed to be a rebellion? I don't know. We all came for the fashion, right? That's the most important part of this whole thing. The color palette relies on this emphasis on contrast. So you have your dark colors, you have like jewel tones, I think, like burgundy and forest green, black, dark brown, the really rich colors, navy, and then you contrast it with creams and gold. And I mean, I don't see anywhere silver. In my mind, I see it. So just see what I'm seeing. Also silver. According to the article, the style can be described as preppy, a little bit more business, not casual.
Than preppy. I think it's business professional with style. It's chic. Business chic. Yeah, I could have just said that. It's a lot easier.
A list of pieces that are included here in the article are Oxford shirts, blazers, tweed trousers, trench coats, duffels, and knitted waistcoats. Those are the staples. And then you have your shoes like loafers, brogues. I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is. I've already opened up about my sob story, dark academia style pieces, way beyond my budget. And so that actually gave me an idea. I want to put together pieces that I already own and try to make outfits that follow the dark academia aesthetic. If you're having the same problem that I'm having, where these pieces are out of budget, just do what I did. Go through your closet, put pieces together that you would have never thought of in the same outfit, and try to recreate something that you saw online following the dark academia aesthetic. I put together a lookbook from Monday through Sunday filled with different outfits, and I will show you every single day of the week now, and you tell me which one is your favorite. This is Monday. Would also be a nightmare in LA heat, but it fits the aesthetic. I am dying in this video because it's so hot. I'm melting. But even though this isn't ideal for LA summers, it does get pretty chilly in the fall/winter time. I mean, every year it gets less and less chilly, but here's hoping that we have a cold year this year. Not very hopeful for it, but still, it would be nice. This is the Wednesday look. A little bit more LA friendly. Stand out in the sun, you're not gonna melt. Thursday. So I don't know if I showed the shoes in the Wednesday look, but these are the same ones. Different skirt though. Different skirt. This is our Friday moment, starring these shoes yet again. I can't believe I'm gonna do this because it's already so hot. But let's say it gets cold on Friday night. Put this little thing over top. I feel like this is the epitome of dark academia. Here we are. It's Saturday. We made it back to our little brown boots. Last but not least, we got Sunday. Found our way back to the main chew of the video. Of course, both days of the weekend had a little black dress. Both different dresses with both different feelings. This one has a little bow in the back. I was so excited for this part of the video. I planned on choosing my favorite outfit of the week, wearing it, telling you why it's my favorite. But I'm not changing out of this outfit, so that's not really gonna happen. What is gonna happen is I'm gonna tell you this was my favorite, but just know it's only because it's 999 degrees outside, and this felt like one of the first outfits that I could actually breathe in, and the idea of changing is a no. It's not happening right now. In order to incorporate the aesthetic of dark academia into your life, the most important thing to keep in mind is that you can learn anything, anywhere. There's so much around you to learn. It's just about being observant and taking things in and really appreciating the earth and learning about history, learning about art, learning about the history of art, learning about music and cultures and languages. And I saw somewhere online that there's like a big emphasis on philosophy and psychology. Nowadays we have access to so many resources. We can just go on YouTube and Google and look stuff up, so might as well take advantage of those things and learn. I also saw somewhere online that there are dark academia foods that fall into the aesthetic. If I'm not mistaken, I saw somewhere that said that it was heavily dependent on fruit, mushrooms, pasta, breads, all pastries, scones, chocolate, which I'm really happy about. And there's, obviously we talked about the caffeine, so there's a lot of teas and coffee, which I already love coffee and I love tea, so all the foods sound pretty good to me. Oh, and I also saw French onion soup, which I thought was really interesting, and it made me start craving French onion soup, so it worked. Thanks for watching this video. I'm sorry if it was a little bit all over the place. We'll see how this goes for me in editing. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.